A panic attack is a terrifying experience, a sudden and overwhelming storm that can take anyone by surprise, transforming the body into an internal battlefield. It's not a simple moment of heightened anxiety. It's a complex physiological cascade, a dysregulated nervous system response that simulates danger, even when the threat is non-existent. Understanding what happens in the body during these events is the first fundamental step toward demystifying this experience and, consequently, finding more effective ways to cope, freeing oneself from the paralyzing fear that often accompanies it. The goal here is not to offer a generic self-help manual, but rather to dissect the mechanics of the attack, revealing the biological mechanisms that go into overdrive, painting a detailed picture of what occurs at the cellular and systemic level. The relevance of this lies in the ability to validate the reader's experience, showing that what they feel is not a character flaw or a personal weakness, but rather an extreme yet understandable physiological response to an internal or external trigger. The experience can vary in intensity and manifestation, but the backbone of a panic attack is common to all: a disproportionate activation of the body's stress response system. Imagine your body as an advanced warning system, designed to protect you from real danger. In situations of imminent threat, such as an encounter with a predator or an accident, this response is vital. It releases a flood of hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, which prepare the body for fight or flight. The heart races to pump more blood to the muscles, breathing becomes faster and shallower to increase oxygenation, muscles tense, and the senses heighten. In short, the body goes into survival mode. The problem arises when this warning system, for reasons still being eagerly studied by science, decides that there is imminent danger, even in the absence of any real threat. It's as if a fire alarm went off without there being smoke or flames. This script aims to unravel this disconnect, to analyze the anatomy of this false alarm that can destabilize a person's life. The focus will not be on the root causes or psychological treatments, as this would prejudge and dilute the impact of understanding the physiology. Instead, we will delve into the physiological how and why of the attack, explaining, step by step, the chemical and neurological reactions that unfold, making the person feel as if they are losing control, suffocating, or even dying. The unique perspective here lies in humanizing the science behind panic, transforming technical terms into vivid and understandable descriptions, allowing those experiencing this condition to recognize their own symptoms as manifestations of a body misguidedly trying to protect itself. The journey that follows will explore the roots of this response system, showing how it manifests physically so intensely, creating a cycle of fear and worry that can be debilitating. The starting point for this exploration is the amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure in the center of the brain, often described as the fear processing center. When the amygdala perceives a threat, whether real or imagined, it triggers an alarm signal to the hypothalamus. This, in turn, activates the autonomic nervous system, which controls involuntary functions such as heartbeat, breathing, and digestion. The sympathetic nervous system is responsible for the fight or flight response. This is where the magic, or rather the chaos, begins to manifest itself in a concrete and perceptible way. Feeling your heart race is not a whim, but a direct order from the hypothalamus to pump more blood, oxygenating the muscles for rapid action. Shallow, labored breathing is another response. The body desperately tries to capture more oxygen to meet the simulated energy demand. Muscle tension, a tight feeling in the chest, dizziness, chills, and cold sweats are all side effects of this massive hormonal surge. Adrenaline, released by the adrenal glands, is the mastermind of this physiological orchestra. It increases blood flow to skeletal muscles, accelerates heart rate, and raises blood pressure. Cortisol, another hormone released in response to stress, keeps the body alert. The digestive system, considered less essential in a situation of imminent danger, may have its blood flow diverted, leading to symptoms such as nausea or abdominal discomfort. Recognizing this cascade of events is crucial to understanding that a panic attack is an extreme biological response to a false alarm, not a sign that something is permanently wrong with one's physical health. It is a temporary but intense glitch in the body's security system. As we contemplate the intricate dance of reactions that unfolds within our being during a panic episode, the complexity underlying this visceral experience becomes clear. These are not mere emotional whims, but rather an intricate defense mechanism programmed for survival, which in an anomalous mismatch activates in the absence of concrete danger. The journey thus far has allowed us to glimpse the sophisticated engineering behind this response, where each signal, each contraction, each metabolic alteration, however disorienting, plays a role within a fundamentally protective biological logic. The impressions left by bodily manifestations, once frightening and inexplicable, now fit together like pieces of a larger puzzle, revealing the inherent intelligence of our physiological system, even if momentarily out of sync. Reflecting on this exploration, we realize how understanding the architecture of this process enables us to view manifestations through a new lens, stripping them of much of their terrifying power. It's as if, by unraveling the threads that make up the cloak of darkness, light can penetrate more easily, illuminating the path. The convergence of the ideas presented outlines a panorama where fear, once sovereign and unpredictable, begins to give way to knowledge, to the understanding that there is a reason behind the turmoil. The seeds of clarity have been sown, and now we envision the fertile soil upon which final conclusions can germinate, solidifying the perception that what we feel is a response, not an intrinsic flaw. This transition prepares us for the next stage, the consolidation of understanding from a perspective that transforms the experience of an oppressive burden into a phenomenon that can be managed and ultimately transcended, thanks to the intelligence that the body itself demonstrates, even in its moments of apparent dysregulation. This transitional stage serves as a turning point, a moment to assimilate the wealth of information presented and prepare the ground for an illuminating final perspective. By weaving together the different facets of the physiological response, we emerge with a clearer picture of the multifaceted nature of these events. A deeper understanding of the internal engineering, biochemical and neurophysiological responses provides us with a solid foundation for moving forward. The path forward is shaped by the consolidation of these insights, transforming the acquired knowledge into a driving force for a new way of approaching and interacting with these experiences, allowing the body's wisdom, even in its apparent disorder, to be fully recognized and integrated into a more compassionate and empowering vision.